All right, what is up, folks? Welcome back to another episode. We're kicking off episode number 53 of Lifting, Running, and Living with your favorite, still for right now, coaches, Kelly
Hello.
and JK. That's me. I'll update the intro whenever I officially need to. Up until then, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
All
I still
right.
am coaching athletes, so.
There you go. All right. So let's kick it off with updates. Kelly, what's going on with you?
All right. So, speaking of coaching, I think I mentioned this last time. My brother's half marathon was this past weekend. And
Yes.
if you've listened, you know my brother allowed me to coach him to this half marathon, which was very exciting. So I was in San Diego from Saturday morning through yesterday afternoon, which is Monday. So pretty short trip. The race was on Sunday. Um, and it was really fun. It is interesting being a spectator versus a racer. Because I thought originally about maybe running the 5K, which was on Saturday. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just chill this trip. I'm just going to be support. I'm not going to race.
Yeah.
um, and so then I could really just be there to support and whatever my brother needed. But I kind of forgot how long it's been since I've done my first race. Because certain things that I think are, you know, they come really easily to me now. I've done them for so long, are things that like my brother has never done. So he was like, what should I eat today? What should I get ready tonight? What should I eat in the morning?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you don't have this down cuz you don't race all the time like I do." Um or like over years, cuz like for everyone, or if people have listened before, you know, he runs the 5Ks with me. But for a 5K, you don't have to like worry about what you eat the night before, if it's gonna be agree with your stomach and like before, because the 5K is so short. Like even if you eat something bad, that upsets your stomach, it's gonna be over soon. Or like worst case, you like throw up and keep going or something.
Okay, let's parking
Uh,
lot that
okay.
because I have a
Versus,
story, but we're gonna parking lot it.
okay, we'll come back to your story.
Yeah.
Uh, and then obviously like a half marathon, you're just running for so much longer. So if something goes wrong from what you eat the night before, the morning of, you're just it sucks a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to live with those decisions for a while.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
just a lot more at stake. Um, and the other thing I didn't realize was I've done some pretty crowded races in the past, like back when I used to run road half marathons in college. But the 5Ks we do together are not super busy. They're like pretty chill in terms of races.
Okay.
But this one, he did the Rock and Roll San Diego, and Rock and Roll is
It's a big
they have them in
series.
big series. They
Yeah.
have them in lots of cities. They had the marathon and the half that morning starting at the same time, and it started for anyone familiar with San Diego down near Balboa Park, and then finished in downtown. So like very crowded areas. So uh, I was the one who suggested our time to leave in the morning, and the race started at 6:15. So I was like, "We need to leave by 5:30 just to make sure you guys have time." He was running with two of his friends. It's like, "Just to make sure you guys have time to get there, go to the bathroom, get to the start, all these things, do a little warm up, you know." Um 5:30 was too late.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dang.
because the roads getting to the start were so congested, because we were just going to drop them off, so it wasn't like we needed to find parking, so we thought we'd be fine. Um, but yeah, it was, like, right around 6, we were maybe a mile, just under a mile away, and they were like, "Should we get out and walk?" And I was like, "Yeah, you should get going."
Yeah, because you said it was 6:15 start.
Yeah,
Oh,
but luckily, they were in corral 10 or 11, they were
okay.
supposed to be, so they knew that they had a little bit of a buffer because corral 1 would start at 6:15, and then obviously, they
Yeah,
would
like staggered start. Is that how it goes?
stagger start,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So they had a little more time, but that was a little chaotic
Yeah,
to
I can
start.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, if I was the racer, I would have been freaking out personally. Um, but they they seem to be, pretty chill. So then I was with his girlfriend and their friend, who was the girlfriend of one of his buddies. So that he was running with two of his friends.
Okay.
So us three girls were the cheer squad.
Okay.
Um, so after we dropped them off, we went to a location where we could see them at mile like just before 3 and then mile 8 because they do kind of like a loop thing. So we could just like walk a couple blocks and be from one spectating point to another. And I didn't have coffee until like 7. It was so brutal.
Oh,
I know I woke up at 5. It was rough. But
dang.
that's neither here nor there. Um, so we went there and then we saw because there was an app where you can track people. Uh, and I sent the tracker to my mom, my other brother, and I was like, Chris is running. Here's how you can track him if you want to track him on race day. His tracker didn't work.
Oh,
So
that's a
yeah, we
bummer.
saw we saw his friends start and
Okay.
then it said he was still waiting to start and I was like, okay, either he got hung up in like a bathroom line and was like, go on without me, and he's starting in a later corral, or the tracker's not working, which I've
Yeah.
seen happen in bigger crowded races. Um, so that kind of sucked
Yeah.
because then
Hmm.
we didn't know the trackers were also a little off. So we were like not sure when we were going to see them because
Oh,
we were trying to time it because they didn't know we were going to be at mile like 2.7 ish.
okay.
Because we just figured it out that morning how close it was. So that was a little hectic. But one of them saw us. We missed the other two, but they were all together.
Hmm.
Yeah. So then his tracker updated kind of, but throughout the whole race, it showed him behind his two friends, which we knew wasn't true. So that was kind of challenging.
Okay.
Um, so then they were like chilling, running. He said it was like they were just chatting along, which is kind of funny for a half marathon. I know your face. You're like, I can't imagine that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
not at all.
yeah. Uh, they also all ran without headphones, which I think is psychotic behavior. But
Raw
I
dog.
guess if you're running with friends,
Total
yeah,
raw dog. All right.
yeah. Uh, so then we saw them for the second time around mile 8, and we successfully saw all three of them, even though the trackers were off. And then we immediately booked it to the finish line, but we had so much trouble finding parking that we missed them finish,
Oh,
which was a bummer. We parked, and then the tracker said Chris was still at like mile 12, and I was like, we're going to be cutting it so close
yeah.
because we had like, I don't know, less than a mile walk to the finish, but walking
Yeah.
is fairly slow. And then we were walking over, and I got the notification that he crossed the finish line, and I was like, well, we missed it. I was like, this tracker was so off.
Yeah.
Um, but it all worked out because the finish was so crowded. So I think even if we were like at the finish line, it would have been challenging to see them.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it all worked out. His goal was to run faster than 2 hours,
Okay.
which I told him a few weeks ago was like the most conservative goal I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
He ran like 1:54:07, I think.
All right.
So, yeah, very happy with that. He was very happy with that. I'm just happy with whatever.
Yeah.
Just happy to be there. But I thought it was exciting because basically I told him going into it, the race course is like the first 3 miles are slightly up and then it like starts to go down and then the last 3 miles are pretty net down. So
Okay.
I was like, first 3 miles, just kind of chill and then slowly speed up. And at mile 10, take your caffeine gel. And if you're feeling good, just send it through the finish line.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did exactly that. His last 5K was like just a smidge slower than the 5K races we've run together, which is like kind of crazy at the end of a half marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
that doesn't
legit.
bode well for me if we run a 5K together again,
Well,
but
congrats to him. Yeah. Did you say, if
yeah.
I remember correctly, trying to get my feet situated. Did you say this is his only distance race? for this year? That's
Uh,
the only one he's gonna do?
no, he's there.
Oh,
Well,
and
still TBD, but the goal was to run a marathon.
yeah.
Um,
This
so they're
year
still,
or
yeah, just kind of like build off of the half marathon.
okay.
So they're still looking at potential ones they might want to do. I think the three of them are going to run it together. So
That's cool. Okay.
yeah, so we'll see, but very excited for him. He did great. And he was walking normally.
All right. Well, congrats, Chris, right?
Yep.
All right. Congrats, Chris.
Congrats, Chris.
What else you got?
Uh, so the only other update is I don't know if I brought it up on here. We're remodeling our downstairs bathroom. I brought it up at some point now that I say that.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe I've talked about the room downstairs
Mm-hmm.
in the basement. We're remodeling the bathroom. We're paying people to remodel the bathroom, I should say.
Okay.
And they finally started this week after uh I feel like we started in like April talking to them and planning, picking out the tile and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Yeah, so very exciting, but it's very chaotic. The cats, as you can imagine, are completely out of whack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I had a hoodie that got peed on today because someone's mad.
Got to talk to Ty about
So,
his behavior.
yeah, I hope it wasn't him.
Bum.
Uh,
Yeah.
I know who it was. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's been interesting. I'm excited for it to be over. It's
What's the
kind of
EA?
to my knowledge, it's like this week. Should only be a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They started yesterday.
Yeah.
They got the tub in today, finished the plumbing, and they started like whatever you have to do before you put tile down.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, and like leveling the floor. And I think they're starting the tile tomorrow. Um,
Are you like documenting, taking photos of the
no.
transformation or anything? No, you're not. Not feeling the HGTV vibes.
I mean, I have a picture from before and I'll take a picture after.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
I don't really care about the during.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. I mostly care about when are workers going to be in my house? When do I need to be here?
Yeah,
You know,
that's
that kind of
fair.
thing.
That's fair. That's very
Yeah.
responsible of you. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I woke up extra early to get my run in before they got here today, and then they were a half hour late, so I was pretty annoyed.
Is that the like most annoying thing that happened to you today?
It's not even close.
Yeah. That's that's what I really focus on as I'm going throughout the day and annoying things happen or I interact with somebody who maybe is a bit difficult to begin the interaction and then like it
Yeah.
slowly kind of de-escalates or whatnot and then they'll be like, man, I'm really sorry. And I just remind myself, or sometimes I'll even say to them if we've like de-escalated the situation to the point. For those who are aware, I work in the retail industry also, including fitness. So I'm
Yeah.
not talking about my clients here, or anything like that. Um, so if we've gotten the situation down to something manageable and we can at least have a conversation without them like screaming or yelling or whatnot, sometimes people will apologize. And I'm like, at the end of the day, if this interaction is the most stressful thing that happens for this day, we're going to count this as a win today. Like if this is the worst thing that happens,
Yeah.
I'm all good. Because sometimes I wonder what's going on in somebody's life for them to go off the way that some people do over things that seem insignificant in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things. So I don't know. That's just maybe a coping
Yeah.
mechanism. So
Well, to be clear, I didn't go off on anyone.
I appreciate that.
I was
I'm sure they do
just
too. Yeah, it was just
I was just a
annoying.
little peeved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only because specifically yesterday when they were leaving, they were like, "What
Hmm.
time can we come back?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Whenever you tell me, I'll work things around." And they were
Right.
like, "Okay, how about this time?" And I was like, "Great. I will be ready at that time."
Yeah.
I was ready at that time.
Well, they just wanted to make sure you were ready.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't like when things interfere with my running and my sleep.
What would you say if they showed up early? Like say they show up earlier than they said they were going to be there and you're still out on your run and then they try to contact you to get in the house or something like that. Like would that be annoying to you?
It would only be annoying to me if they were mad at me.
Okay.
Like, if we agreed they were going to be here at a certain time, they get here early and they're like, "Why aren't you here?" Then I'd be annoyed because 'cause I'd be like, "'Cause we
Okay.
agreed at this
Yeah.
time, so I made my plans
Right. Okay.
to be back by this time."
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a friend who was annoyed by that very scenario.
Mm.
Like a crew that was coming over. I can't remember if it was like a cleaning crew or something like that, but a crew that was coming over said they'd be there at a certain time. So she went to go do like whatever. And they were like blowing up her phone, like, "Hey, we're outside." And she's like, "That's a you problem because I told you I wouldn't be back by then." So,
I mean, I'm with her.
yeah, I mean, she was complaining to me about
Yeah.
that. I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, you did kind of tell them that they that you guys agreed on the time, and I get where you're coming from, and I get where they're coming from, but you're right. I mean, that is a them problem, but I don't know that I'm going to have a huge attitude with somebody who is doing like things to or in my
Mm.
house, you know.
Yeah, I would agree, like, you don't wanna make them mad.
It's like people who are super rude to restaurant staff or cooks.
That's so risky.
I'm like,
I would
"Do
never.
yeah, do you wanna die?" Like,
Yeah.
yo, that does not seem like a good idea to me. Yeah, like, there's a way you at least, like, handle it after the check comes or,
Yeah, after
handle
you
it
get your
respectfully,
stuff.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there'd be
mean
some people. I used to work at Starbucks,
uh-huh.
and as you can imagine, some people are very high maintenance.
Yeah, I could
Um,
see that.
yeah, and I never did anything, um, but I don't remember if it was at my store or if I just heard about it
Yeah.
online or something, but there would be times when people were difficult and, like, specifically people ordering decaf,
Oh.
and you would not give them decaf. I
Kelly.
never did it, to be clear.
Kelly.
I would never do that to someone.
Oh,
Or the opposite, when like, give someone decaf when they think they're getting real coffee.
oh, that is
Just,
savage.
like, don't mess with your baristas.
That's oh man, that's beyond petty. See, that's not even petty. That's just bad. Yeah, petty would be like purposely, like you maybe misspell their name or something, or if they've
No.
like I worked at a place, and I have a very quick update, so I'm not really wasting too much time. But I worked somewhere before where this is not my current job, um, where you would get somebody's information to sign them up for like a customer loyalty program.
Yeah.
And I had one cashier who was known to occasionally be petty with people.
Mhm.
And what he would do if he was really annoyed by somebody is
Oh,
if they
no.
had some sort of like kind of what could potentially be an embarrassing email address,
Uh-huh.
which at the time, so this is some years ago because I've been with my current company for 10 years. So this is over a decade ago. So
Oh, yeah.
you still have like a generation of people, I'm going to say like elder millennials who
Yeah.
have email addresses like Foxy Sugar
Yep.
22 XOXO Mama, or no, not Mama, but like you could tell it was something they
Yeah.
made around the AOL Instant Messenger days
Yeah.
and just never
Uh-huh.
changed it, or they carried it over and it was like a at Hotmail. So he
Yep.
would, and what people would do all the time, it would be like they would try and spell it out so that they didn't have to say the words. So it would be like they'd be like, yeah, my email's SE XYK IT TY6 9 at hotmail.com. And so he'd be like, oh, sexy kitten 69 at gmail.com. Like or hotmail.com. That's how petty he was.
No.
So he'd say it like all loud. Just
That's funny.
yeah. So that's just what reminded me of that. To me is petty. Putting
Mhm.
caffeine or taking or not putting caffeine in when somebody asks for something different, to me that's going too far. I gotta be straight up. That's going too far.
Like I said, I never did it, but
Yeah. I'm just throwing that out there. You're risking somebody's life. What if they needed the caffeine to stay awake for a long drive or something? You know what I mean?
I mean, I
It's cold.
think
That's cold.
if you can't stay awake and you need caffeine, then you probably just need sleep.
Yeah. All right.
Like, there's a certain point where caffeine's not gonna help you.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
I'm hoping
Well,
somebody relates to that email address thing because that was definitely a
oh,
thing for quite a while.
yes.
Did you
I
ever
I
have one?
remember. I mean, mine were always stupid. They were like my cats' names.
Were they? Mine was. I was a big fan of the Fugees, so mine was Fuji. My, you're laughing at that part. I didn't even get to the punchline
Yeah.
yet. The
Okay.
Fugees were legit.
Okay.
That was I. So mine was Fuji J, like Fuji and then the letter J at AOL.com. Somebody can send me an email. I
Okay.
don't remember the password anymore. So yeah, but that was
So
mine for
many
like a really
AOL
long time.
emails.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Let's see. So update for me is just
Yeah.
transitioning into the summer months, both with my own training and then doing some things via like anybody that's on my email list. Really, just kind of doing a re-engagement and refocus on habits over the summer.
Mm.
Um, Ramping up for some other stuff that's coming up like later on in the summer with my own coaching business, potentially like a group coaching type of model, might run another like reset program, some stuff like that. So just with my training right now, I'm moving to a 4-day training split for the most part. It has the option to do a fifth day if
Hmm.
things are feeling pretty good, but just a lower upper or yeah, lower upper, and then possibly one other upper day. We'll just kind of see. And integrating biking, either biking like indoor bike. So either the bike or occasionally either run or ski erg like twice a week.
Mm.
So basically conditioning, putting in two
Yeah.
conditioning ones and then still doing one zone two session. So basically lifting, getting a little bit more conditioning into the mix, I guess it would be. Because
Hmm.
typically I do like one kind of more higher intensity cardio session
Yeah.
each week, but this time I'm integrating one other one in there and then lifting, like I'm calling if I, when I get 3 to 4 done for the week, that's enough, just because I really need to reallocate a decent amount of that time towards my coaching stuff. Like I've really got to
Yeah.
reallocate some of that stuff. So to accommodate for that, updated my training. And then also just with anybody who's on my email list, or if anybody's interested, you can always contact me and I'll pop you on there. um, Doing this thing where we're tracking basic habits for 30 days. What is it? Protein, like 3 servings of
Mm.
protein. So you track that for 30 days. Just get in 3 servings of protein, get in some combination of 4 servings of fruits and vegetables, like some combination of that. See
Yeah.
what your frequency is like that over the next 30 days. And then get in bed within 30 minutes of whatever time you said you were going to bed for the next 30 days. And so the whole
You
idea,
did this
yeah, I've
over
done it.
winter, right?
I've done it before multiple times.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was gonna say this sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's kind of another angle on the whole thing. Is like it's not about remixing and reinventing the wheel and different things like that.
Yeah.
What I tend to find is especially over the summer, people just slowly but surely just kind of veer a little bit off of their course. And then what typically will happen is then like there's a boom in like August, September ish, uh,
Mm.
where where people want to try and correct where they quote unquote got off course over the summer, and then
Yeah.
that's going like right into the holidays, and then you have the holidays, and then it's the whole cycle,
Yeah.
like that sort of thing. So I just created like that little very quick tool for people to be able to take a look at that, and at least then 30 days from now they can go back and look and see, okay, well, how often did I actually do this? Like where are my habits actually right now? Because it I'd say for the average layperson, like they're not really in tune to what their habits actually look like on a regular
Yeah.
basis. So that's all. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, massive plug for the email. I'm really trying to grow the email side of things right now. So
Yeah. You've been sending a lot.
yeah, I try to. You think it's too much? You can tell me if you think it's too much. Don't bother me.
No.
Okay. What?
I mean, it goes to my coaching email where I don't get too many emails.
Oh,
Anyway.
well, for to clarify, just for anybody who's listening, when Kelly says a lot, that means I sent like 2 last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so people don't think I'm not
You're
blowing up your.
consistent.
Yeah, people,
No.
just so you don't think I'm blowing up your inbox. Like usually, I'll send one workout and then one email that's related to the podcast. So at
Yeah.
minimum, I'll send 2. However, every now and then, I just have like something I want to share real quick, and so I'll just do that. And it's been what has been really cool is there's a couple of folks who've emailed me back to
Mm,
let me know like what they thought about something or whatnot. And
that's
I
always nice.
truly like if I get one person that emails me back, then most likely the next thing that I'm going to email or the next piece of content typically has to do with whatever that person responded with. So I'm very
Oh,
big. Yeah, I'm very big on trying to do what I can to have content make sense for the people that are engaging with me.
yeah.
So I don't, yeah. So, like yeah, you definitely can connect with this. Sometimes coach in the coaching world, you can get really caught up in like, well, I don't know if this message lands or,
Mm,
the way I'm going to phrase this might not work for this person. When I make content, I literally am sometimes thinking of one person who asked a
mhm.
question or one person who had a comment. And so I'm speaking directly to that particular individual. So I could
Yeah.
have 15 people who be like, this makes 0 sense. And then 2 people who shoot me a DM. They're like, dude, you're in my head. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's sometimes, I think that's sometimes what maybe followers get confused about is that just because you
Mm,
may be one of, I think maybe I have like 3,000 followers or something. I'm not specifically trying to make content for all 3,000 of them because
yeah.
yeah, like I don't
It's impossible.
yeah, it's very impossible, very impossible. So
Yeah.
I'm making content for the people that are in my DMs and responding to my emails. Hint, hint. If anybody wants to respond, I'll make content.
What is so they have to contact you to get on the list
If they go to my Instagram bio, the link is right in the bio. Like
and
that's the
remind
only
people
link
what your Instagram is?
at Coach JK McLeod. Yep.
Very good.
If you go on Google and you type in Coach JK, I'm pretty sure that I'm the first thing that comes up. I think I've got enough
Oh,
content out there
it's nice
now.
SEO.
Yeah, I could test
We're gonna
that.
test it.
Well, won't
You
my
can't test it because you are
yeah, I was
JK.
gonna say won't my cookies just automatically kind of
Yeah, your cookies.
if you put in Coach
Oh,
JK? No.
the first thing that comes up is a John Kavanaugh on Twitter, aka X.
Oh, bump that dude.
There's a couple.
When
You're the fourth one.
you typed in Coach JK.
Coach JK. Yeah, there are 3
Oh, okay.
X results that come up first,
Okay, I
and
got
then
work to
you.
do. I got work to do.
Yeah,
That's
this
interesting.
John Kavanaugh person.
Okay. All right, John Kavanaugh, I'm coming for you.
Oh, I don't know. The one thing
He must
that I
be a
see
big
is
deal.
something political.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'll keep going. That's all right. I'll keep
I
going.
mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'll take
4th?
it. That's okay. I'll take it because I think Coach JK is pretty easy to remember.
Yeah,
And sometimes
I
people
agree.
don't remember. They're like JT, JR. I'm like, just think alphabet, HIJK. Like it's right in the, it's so easy. HIJK.
You know, since being an adult, I've learned that things that I think are super easy are not for people.
The best is when somebody asks me how to spell it. I wish I was kidding. And this is not like over
What do
the
you
phone.
say?
This
Are
is
you
to
just
my
like
face.
J then K?
I oh man. People are gonna hate me. I may or may not sometimes respond with, oh, it's just JK, the E is silent, and just sit there. So all right. I
Uh,
told you. Petty. Petty, petty.
I
All
mean,
right.
if someone's asking how to spell JK, they kind of deserve it, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Anyway,
All right. So that's yeah, that's what I've got going on for my updates here.
lovely.
Cool.
So, we're gonna talk more about if you didn't listen to the last episode, you should go back and listen to it, episode 52. We talked about some fitness trends
Hmm.
and what we think about them. We put them into a category of hell yeah, meh, or hell no.
Yes.
So we're going to do that with our remaining categories. Unless we run out of time, then we'll drop the last one. So we'll
Oh,
see. Um, but the first one, you posted a link to a story
I was trying to
to this
pull
a
this back
couple weeks
up.
ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it back up so I can remember what was.
Yeah, which is interesting because this is one. Uh, these topics come from either Google,
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT, or things that I've seen.
Yeah.
This one came from either ChatGPT or Google's AI. It came from a bot somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, so it must have been a very popular article. And the listeners are probably like, "What are you talking about?" We're talking about interval walking training.
Yeah, high intensity interval walking. That is
Yeah,
interesting.
and it's Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
originated in Japan.
Well, I don't know if it for sure originated, excuse me, in Japan. Um, However,
It's
now that I
popular.
think about it, was there any? So you know the whole story around the 10,000 steps thing.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know the story. I just know
So
it's
the
a
story
bullshit
around the whole
number.
10,000 steps thing is that that was created as a marketing campaign
Oh, that checks
to,
out.
yeah, it was created as a marketing campaign, and 10,000 steps was actually it was related to the name of the company that made the step tracker that they were using. I think it was called like Kenpai or something like that. And
Oh,
it was in, I swear, man, I did a whole podcast on this. I should remember this. It was, I think, Japan's preparation for one of the years that they were getting the Olympic Games there. And because the
oh,
Olympic Games were coming, one of the things that they wanted to do was get their population in shape. Like basically the narrative
hmm,
was we have all these people that are going to be coming to our country. There's going to be a lot of focus on our country and we don't want fat people walking around. Long story short is literally. So
interesting.
there had already been some research around just like the benefits of movement and whatnot. So they created this whole campaign around walking 10,000 steps because, spoiler alert, there's nothing magical about 10,000 steps. It typically has been that like any sort of health markers and body composition pieces, just generally, research has shown that it's pretty much like net after I think 7,000.
Yeah, it's like six or seven.
I think yeah, I think 6 to 7. I think 7,000 was the 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 necessary number to maximize the risk or reduce the risk of mortality. I think that's
Oh,
where you
okay.
saw, yeah, it was like
Yeah,
you saw a significant drop off in all cause mortality rates up to 7,000 steps. And then after 7,000 steps, it was basically like neutral. It didn't make a
yeah.
difference. But anyways, I was just putting two and two together, which I don't think it was around the 2000s, but now I wonder because it was Japan, I'm pretty sure. But anyways,
Hmm,
2004, I just pulled my post back up. So 2004, there was a study that was done on 246 healthy adults ages 44 through 78, and they split them into three different groups. So one
mhm.
group did no walking, another group did moderate intensity walking, and then another group did high intensity interval walking. So the high intensity interval walking was where they did 3 minutes of high effort and then 2 to 3 minutes of low effort. So it was like low effort was considered 40% of like your max walking effort. Yeah, your max walking effort.
Okay. I don't know. Is this
And
how you felt when we were talking about the max calf raises?
well, so I pictured, yeah, because
What?
I was starting to picture like the Olympic speed walking or
Yeah, me
whatnot.
too. I mean, that is
I
technically your
so for
highest
me,
effort walking.
but long story short, the outcomes for the high intensity interval group, aerobic capacity up by 10%, leg strength increased by 13 to 18%, improved their pressure control, and they also had no injuries. So the results from the group that did the intervals versus the group that just did straight, like keep the same pace the entire time, and the group that did no changes, they were better in the interval walking group. For
Mm.
me, this one's a hell yeah anyway.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
the interval walking piece for me, it's totally a hell yeah because I think that there's I think there's a lot of value in walking anyway. Are we
Yeah.
past the point of saying that walking is one of the most underrated tools out there, or is it like still? Are we still supposed to say that? Because is it really underrated anymore? Walking?
I think it's still underrated.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's just still underrated just because like not enough people do it,
You know
you
what?
know?
Yeah. You as I'm sitting
Myself
here.
included.
Yeah. So I can think of people that I've talked to who have asked me for, thoughts, advice, whatever on, hey, I'd like to try and get into shape. And this is with demographics from mid 20s on up because I interact
Mhm.
with a lot of different age ranges. And even when I start with, okay, so just kind of help me understand what things look like right now. And then I suggest, well, let's start with get in the gym 2 days, two days out of a 7 day time frame. Get in there 2 days. Let's start there, and
Mhm.
then let's get in a 20-minute walk any of the other days that you're not in the gym. Like you can walk the
Yeah.
same day that you're in the gym. However, I'm just trying to let's start with that. And
Yeah.
and then you're right because they hit me with the well, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of already on my feet. Like, is walking really going to make that much of a difference?
Yeah.
So you're right. It is still underrated.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
highly underrated.
yeah, you're
Uh
right. All right.
yeah,
Well,
I think especially in like if we're thinking about it in terms of fitness.
hmm
'Cause I feel like a lot of people, at least a lot of people I've seen interacted with are like, I might as well just run then. It's like, well, you can't, you can walk more than you can run. And
yeah,
walking is lower impact. Sometimes you don't always have to do things for fitness either. You can just like do it
right.
for health, do it for a break.
Well, I think also the idea of doing some interval walking, I think, is pretty good too. Because
Yeah.
even for the folks that are already consistently walking, I think doing something like every now and then you intentionally pick up the pace, I think can be good too. Because you can get to a point where your walks, so from a physical standpoint, sure, your walks are like they are what they are, but you can get to a point where they start to become mentally a problem because you're
Yeah.
distracted and all you're doing is scrolling on TikTok the entire time. Or,
That's actually very impressive. I am not very good at
yeah.
walking and scrolling.
Okay. Well, if it was like a treadmill or something,
I don't
are you
know.
saying that would be
Still,
difficult for you?
I guess it depends the pace at which I'm walking.
That's fair. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm a resounding
No.
hell yeah on that one.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
I like that one too. No
Cool.
notes.
All right.
Okay. The next one, we talked a little teaser last time about this one. Next one is Pilates. Pilates is having a moment right now with the girlies on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to fill me in on this because I'm not on the TikTok.
Well, I haven't been on the TikTok since end of 2024, so it might have passed by now.
Okay. I do see the
But
Pilates X Core or Pilates X Strength. What am I seeing?
I don't
I
I
don't
don't
know.
really know what that is.
But yeah. Okay.
Um, but back when I was on TikTok, I was seeing at the time it kind of went with my favorite topic of all time, cycle syncing. Uh
Yeah.
and the content I was seeing was a lot of like I stopped running and started doing Pilates and now my body looks like this.
Yep. Yeah.
Or I stopped lifting heavy and I started doing yoga and Pilates and now I'm so much leaner.
Yeah. I traded in my this for that.
Yeah, I traded my this for that. I started listening to my cycle and doing Pilates in the first luteal phase of the month. And now everything is peachy keen. Um,
Yeah. So, pro tip, I would not be shocked if 70% or more of those posts eventually lead you to one of two or both of these things. One, the latter training app, or
ladder.
two, the Amari Happy Juice.
Oh, I don't know
Those,
that one,
one or
but I do
both
know
of
ladder.
those particular things. Yeah. Latter, yeah, that's a different story. Anyways, okay.
Or
So,
it's
speak on it.
just or it's just women who are genetically gifted already. It's like you probably look like that no matter what you did. I don't really believe that you stopped doing this and started doing like it's not Pilates.
Do you want to, do you want to share what Pilates is for anybody who might not be familiar with it?
I don't know if I'm the best person to give
Why you
I've never actually done Pilates. So
Oh,
I know there's a reformer in
yeah.
class,
Yes.
tiny movements, very challenging,
Yeah,
a lot of tiny muscles.
it's on equipment that looks like BDSM equipment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
I have some friends who really love Pilates.
Mhm.
Um, one of my former athletes, she really liked doing Pilates. So like I have nothing against Pilates itself. If you like Pilates, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I am sick of the messaging around Pilates that it's better than everything else for women in particular, especially when they're knocking, running, and heavy lifting, which obviously we all know my bias there. But like I don't think we should be shaming people for doing other things they like and be like, you need to do Pilates, especially when the messaging is tied into looking a certain way. Because, like you've talked about before, it's a lot of nutrition. If you want to look a certain way, it's not like
Yep.
Pilates over running kind of thing.
So are you what's your rating on this?
Ugh, I'm a meh
Okay.
just because I can't separate the messaging right now around Pilates from Pilates itself.
I can agree with that. I'm a meh on it also. Um yeah, I'm a meh also. And for me, it specifically would be I do have, much like Kelly, whether I think she would agree with this. I have an explicit bias there
Oh yeah.
because the marketing itself makes the platforms that are choosing to market it pretty heavily are marketing it as a trade for strength training
Yep.
versus running it in correlation with.
Mhm.
So and right now I have one client right now who teaches Pilates,
Mhm.
and I'm like all about it. Like I think it's fantastic, and has done wonders for her in relation to how it also correlates with her strength training.
Yeah.
That's been fantastic. But when it comes to like, yeah, I think the marketing is really just clouding a lot of it. But for those who are not totally familiar, there's basically, from what I understand, there's like mat Pilates and then there's reformer Pilates. So reformer Pilates is
Mhm.
when you're on the machine getting stretched, like you're doing like weird things that you don't talk to other people about. And then mat Pilates is when you're doing body weight type stuff on a mat. Like it's kind of what it looks like. So
Yeah.
I do think Pilates though, from a like pelvic floor strength standpoint, can be really really
Ooh.
awesome. Which also focuses on like, I mean, clearly focuses on your core. And I think that especially when you have women that are post pregnancy and
Mhm.
working on trying to get, if they've taken time off from the gym, then working their way back into the gym. And you want to make sure that there's just, for lack of a better way to put it, like I would just, from my point of view, frame it as almost just like kind of reconnecting with your body, like just feeling like,
Mm.
okay, how does my body move in space? I'm
Yeah.
trying to brace in the right areas and different things like that. I think that it can be really good for just overall body awareness. And
Mhm.
there are men's sports teams who specifically have their athletes go to Pilates classes so that they
Oh.
can really get an understanding of like proper like alignment, like spinal alignment, their posture, like all sorts of things. So I think that because the majority of who I would suggest it for would be people who are focused on like core and pelvic floor strength, just mindfulness and control movement and different things like that, because that's primarily who I would suggest it for. Like if I'm saying this needs to be your main thing, it's a smaller percentage of the population. So that's why I would say meh. Now, I can't think of anybody that I would say, hey, I don't think you should do that at all. I think that some sort
Yeah.
of core focus, something that deals with mobility, something that really, enhances how you control your body is great as something that goes along with putting heavy weights on a bar or in your hands with a dumbbell. So that's
Yeah.
that's what I would say. So but it is not. It's not strength training.
No.
It is not strength training. Does it? Can it make you stronger? Sure,
Yeah. Just
depending
like
on
yoga.
depending on where you're starting from.
Yeah.
It is not. It's not going to be sufficient for even medium term strength training, maybe short term. My friend Kylie just put out a reel today where somebody had said something about yoga sculpt is actually strength training. And she was like, basically, she was like, the F it is, miss me with all that. And she teaches, like, she's taught yoga for decades, I think, like for
Yeah.
forever. And she's like, absolutely not. So she's like, it's yoga. She's like, it's yoga with a weight in your hand. Do not do that. That is not. She's like that. Do not do that and tell me that. She's not saying don't do it. She's like, don't say that. That is not. It's not strength training. So, anyways,
Yeah. I think
yeah,
people think if something is hard, that means it's strength training. Because like
yeah,
if you haven't done Pilates, Pilates is hard.
mm-hmm.
If you haven't done yoga, yoga is hard. If you haven't done yoga with a weight in your hand, I have done that. That is hard,
Yeah,
but it is
facts.
not strength training.
Yeah, I agree with you. Totally agree with
Yeah.
you. All right.
All right, so we're both met on we agree on both so far.
Yeah. Yep.
This is crazy.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is zone 2 training.
Are we doing both of these last ones or just the one?
We're going to see.
Okay.
We'll see where we land, how time's looking.
Okay.
Zone 2 is also having a moment, at least in running right now.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's talking about it again.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, at least the very few times I go on Instagram, I still see things about zone 2 and how everyone needs to figure out their zone 2. Everyone needs to figure out their heart rate zones.
Hmm.
Um,
So
so
where are you at on this?
I'm another meh,
Okay.
just because there's nothing I have against zone 2 training. Zone 2 is great for anyone who doesn't know what zone 2 is. If we're looking at a 5 zone model, zone 2 is like the easy effort. Not super easy, that's zone 1. The easy effort. In running, it's
Mhm.
like your conversational pace, your basic easy run that most of us should be in most of the time. My bone to pick with zone 2 is similar to one of the ones we talked about last time with like our wearable technologies tracking everything.
Mhm.
It's the fact that people think they need to know down to the beat per minute what their heart rate zones are to know if they're in zone 2 or not. Uh and you know, I just feel like we've gotten so far away from being able to tell if I'm on a run, can I talk to this person next to me?
Yeah, a
If
little
not,
talk
I'm
test
not in
action.
zone 2.
Is your issue with the methodology or the execution right now?
The execution for sure.
Okay.
It's the fact that, well, okay, there's a couple things.
Okay.
One is that people think zone 2 is literally between like it's a range that you can find and it's going to be that forever.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
like if I figure out my zone 2 or all of my zones today, if I keep training over the next year, they're not going to be the same in a year.
Yeah.
If I stop training for a year, they're also not going to be the same in a year. Uh, so people's obsession with the specific numbers is one of my qualms, and people's obsession with seeing other people's heart rate data and jumping to you're not in zone 2. That heart rate could not possibly be zone 2. And
Oh,
I will give you some heart rates. If your heart rate is like 180, I don't think there's one person on the planet, maybe one person on the planet that's probably not zone 2, like let's be honest. But there's a whole like gray area in the middle. I feel like people think zone 2 and they're like your heart rate has to be in the 130s,
I
and that's
gotcha.
just,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
um and then people become like the zone 2 police online. It's like you're not running your run easy, and it's like, okay, if you're not that person's coach, then who cares what you think? I see it happen mostly with like running influencers. And
Interesting.
to be completely honest, I have looked at people's runs and been like, that probably is not, assuming you're trying to do an easy run, you're probably not running slow enough. Uh, But yeah, my
Interesting.
main issues are people thinking the zones are concrete,
Hmm.
never changing. I mean, and the way people get their zones, which I don't think we need to go into right now because we've gone into before.
Yeah.
If you're using your supposed max heart rate, that's bullshit. Just throw it out. um, yeah, and then thinking like, well, I think also just thinking if you're on like a zone two run,
Hmm.
you drift out of zone two, then you like have defeated the purpose.
Oh,
You know,
gotcha.
there's like so many strict rules around it right now where I'm like, when I grew up running, I like had my heart rate. I didn't know what it meant. I just went out and ran and like chatted with my teammates, and then
Kelly
I
just
could
hit him
tell
with
when
a
they were running
back in
too
my
fast.
day.
Back in my day, yeah. Back when we didn't have GPS.
I this is a world that I am not involved in at all. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
your
involved
zone
in.
2 world is much simpler, I feel like.
Yes, it very much is. So for me, I'm a hell yeah when it comes to zone two
Yeah.
training. The primary controversy in my neck of the woods is working through. Primarily, it comes from Stacy Sims
Bro.
talking about zone two not being effective for women.
Yeah.
And in the context that she has presented it, yeah, totally makes sense. I was just recently speaking with a new client about this as we were talking about like trying to simplify things and clear out a lot of the noise that was coming in.
Mhm.
Um, and typically when I'll put like, hey, I'd like you to get in about 20 to 30 minutes of zone two training each week, just pick a session, pick a day, doesn't matter what day, and just put that in there. If I'm getting pushback on it, it typically is related to I've been sent the same article I don't know how many times, or it's
Mm.
an Instagram post that Stacy Sims did like quite a while ago about how zone two training was less effective for women than it is for men.
Yeah.
I believe because of a difference in is it a difference in the mitochondria and then fat oxidation? I can't remember exactly what it was, but
Mm.
um, it was specifically from the way that I read it and other coaches that I've consulted with, other female coaches that I've consulted with, the way that we've read it has been that uh, she's saying it's an overrated tool for fat loss, which I completely agree.
Ah.
I have not come across well, and the thing is, I don't program it for fat loss.
Yeah.
Um, so that's where I try to reframe it in a way that doesn't make it sound like I'm trying to gaslight my client because
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I specifically have it there because otherwise you are going to spend the majority like based on if I'm talking to a specific person like based on what you shared, there are very rarely ever times where you are intentionally getting your heart rate to a certain point and just keeping it there, like having to exert at least a little bit of effort to keep it
Yeah.
there for a certain amount of time or a certain amount of time. And so when we don't do that, then very easily that's where you can slowly veer to falling out of conditioning shape. So
Yeah.
like walking, like for someone who trains 4 days a week, like if you lift weights 4 days a week and get winded walking up one flight of stairs, something's off. Like something's off.
Yeah.
So that's really an example that I would throw out there is, if you lift weights 4 days a week and you're all good with that, and then you get winded walking up one flight of stairs, the math is no longer mathing with what your split looks like. So
Yeah.
there needs to be some effort that's put in there to where your cardiovascular condition can handle you going up one flight of stairs. Like that's a problem, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Like but for the running thing, I totally get where you're coming from. And I was just talking to Lori, who's like the local person here who runs that run club and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. And she was talking to me about a zone two run. And I was like, I can't do a zone two run. And she's like, oh, sure you can. And I was like, no. I don't know if you understand. Like when I run, it's immediately going to be a zone 4. Like
Yeah.
there is no, bless her heart. She was like, oh, you could jog it. I'm like, no, I was like, because I've gone to run club a few times and they'll have like, you want this one to be zone 2, this for this interval, and then
Mhm,
we're going to
yeah,
pick it up. And I was like, yeah. So you want me to walk? I don't have a I don't have a zone 2 for running yet.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll see. I'd love to say it's
yeah.
because I just don't know how to calm down and I go full send, but that's not the case. Yeah, just me and running, just like it'll pick my heart rate right up, no problem.
Yeah. That's how it is for a lot of people. That's another reason I don't like all the emphasis on it right now, because then I've seen like beginner runners feel
Hmm.
bad because similar to you, they're like, there is not a zone 2.
Well,
Like,
I mean, I can jog if I wanted to, like I can go
yeah,
on a jog and talk if I wanted to. Like I can,
yeah,
I could jog along and shuffle or whatnot, but my heart rate itself is not going to be in
yeah,
zone 2. Like my heart rate for sure is going to be in the higher range.
yeah,
So my perceived effort at that time is probably around, like on a scale of 1 to 10, my perceived effort is like at a 4 or 5, but my heart rate
okay,
jumps. Like my
yeah,
perceived effort,
yeah,
because I'm just kind of shuffling along, but I don't know. Anyways, all right,
yeah.
that's zone 2.
Anyway, um, yeah, if zone 2 was not on social media, it would be a hell yeah for me.
Yeah, I'll keep mine at hell yeah, because I'm not on
Yeah.
whatever like negative Reddit thread
The
you're on.
that's actually not.
I know it's
I mean,
probably
it's just been
Strava.
it's an
Yeah.
acute. No, it's partially Reddit and Instagram.
Okay.
And I
Fair
would
enough.
see it on TikTok too back when I was on. It's been like this has been a thing for over a year. People just
Yeah,
decided to latch on to zone 2 all of a sudden as if like easy running didn't exist before, you
it's
know.
funny.
Well, we did talk about this. It went from we've gone from like doing things harder, and now it's like pulling back a lot.
Yeah, it's
But like you need both of them.
yeah, we've talked about this in one of my business coaching groups. It's the pendulum swing.
Mhm.
Um, so like if it's swung so far one way, at some point it's going to swing all the way back the other way, and then at some point
Yeah.
it'll swing all the way back the other way. So I tend to operate somewhere in the middle with, yeah, sometimes you need to go all the way left or all the way right, but the majority of the time you should be spending somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we'll make this last one really quick because we're about in an hour.
Yep.
The last one is contrast therapy. So cold plunge, sauna, right after each other. Um,
Yeah.
mm, Personally, I hate cold plunging. So
Yeah. Same, actually.
yeah, and sauna's okay. I don't like being hot and sweaty and uncomfortable like that, but
Mhm.
it's more enjoyable than the cold plunge. Um, but yeah, in terms of like for helping running, I've heard a lot more around sauna, like heat training, versus cold plunge. So I'm just a meh. I would choose sauna over contrast if I had to. And then sauna would probably be a hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm meh on both of them. They're all right. I don't
All right.
I don't really do either one. So explicit bias again. I despise like the cold therapy. Like
Yeah.
despise it. Um, remember when I did 75 hard. Part of the Live Hard program is you do 75 hard and then you go into something called phase 1, and then there's another one called phase 2. So when you
Hmm.
complete all 3 of those within a calendar year, I think it is, you've completed the Live Hard year. And
Okay.
there's different tasks. So after you do 75 hard, then when you go into the next phase, you do the same 75 hard tasks, like the 5 critical tasks, those carry over. And then you add in a cold shower. I think it's like 5 minutes. I could be wrong.
No. Five
Yeah. I
minutes.
can't remember what
That
maybe I'm
is
wrong.
so long
It's
for a
some
cold
sort of
shower.
it's some few minutes of cold shower. I'm probably wrong, but it's
Ugh.
something of like a cold shower. And what is the other one? Maybe visualization. I think it's a certain amount of visualization. Yeah,
Oh,
and then
that
the
actually
last
is very
phase,
beneficial.
yeah, and then the last phase, I think there's that that it's like you got to talk to a stranger every day and something else.
Every day?
Yeah. I mean, it's legit. So, anyways, I just remember once I read the cold shower thing, I was like, yeah, immediately no. I'll just stop at day 75. Like I'm good there. Yeah. So I'm meh on it. I
Yeah.
know for a while I think there was a big buzz around hopping in the ice bath right after a workout or something like that. And then there's research that came out about that potentially blunting the hypertrophy response. So then
Yep.
people started backing off and whatnot. I've heard positive, like a lot of positives. I mean, in the strength and conditioning world and the performance world, like an ice bath after a sport has been a thing for
Oh, yeah.
forever.
Still at the CrossFit Games
Yeah,
between.
that's been around for like forever. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of I think that's kind of along the trend line of taking things that you see at the elite level and then just trying to figure out, okay, how do we integrate that into just like everyday type
The
person. So
normies.
yeah, the normies. So I don't know. It's
Mhm.
meh, but it's not something I'm interested in. So
Yeah, that's fair. There's not really anything you would need a sauna for in strength and conditioning.
yeah, now I do have a couple of clients who do the red light therapy. Is that what it's called?
Oh,
Yeah, like
yeah.
the red light therapy thing. And have reported back. I'm sorry, one of my clients. I want to make sure I'm correct. Okay, one of my clients uses it because their partner uses it. The partner has they have some sort of a condition where it's actually been extremely helpful for them.
Oh,
Because even
okay.
like in my group, they broke down like a few different tips, like to kind of be on the lookout for, and some very specific stuff. Like I mean, this person's like they know their stuff, so they were like, yeah, it's not like some magical thing. However,
Yeah.
we have found it to be helpful. And then I have another
Hmm.
client who I think has also utilized it like periodically, and they've just reported, I mean, no negatives really as
Yeah.
far as like the red light therapy thing. So I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. We have a sauna at the clubhouse here in our neighborhood, and I've just never used it. So,
Did I tell you about the one time I used the sauna at Vasa?
or
Yeah,
you might have, but I
I
don't
might have told you off the air. Because sauna is having a moment in running right now,
okay.
at least in trail running. Um, because it's a really good way to get in heat training if you have a race that you're training for that's going to be in a hotter environment, but the environment you live in isn't hot.
Oh,
Um,
that's a good call.
yeah, so like people training for like summer races, like early summer races, but obviously it's not super hot yet, depending on where you are. Or things like that, or like maybe you live, up high in the mountains, but you're training for a desert race. Then sauna can be helpful to get you a little more prepped. And then there's like the blood benefits and everything. Anyway, so I was like, since I'm paying for a gym membership, I should start using the sauna. And so I went in there with my little book. I was just sitting there trying to read my book, and some dude started talking to me. There's like 10 people in this sauna, and he starts talking to me. And I'm just like, it was so awkward. And for a while, I was the only woman in there. And I was like, bro, I have a book. Like, why are you talking to me? And he was like asking what I was reading. And I was like, I'm reading about murder. Okay. Like, leave me alone. He was like, oh, yeah, my wife loves murder books. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, are you in school? And I was like, dude,
Oh my god.
no, I'm in my 30s. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to sit in the sauna and read my book and then leave in 15 minutes. Oh my god. He just like kept no one else in this sauna was talking. And I was just like, this is why I don't go into public saunas.
Well, I guess we know where you stand.
I like I would like a sauna if I could control who's in it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And this one it was dark, the light wasn't on, so you couldn't see how many people were in there until you get in there. And like I had committed once I had walked in, I was like, I would feel really awkward just turning right around and walking out, and I can't stand that. So once I'm in there, I have to sit down somewhere. And
Yikes.
then,
Yeah, no.
yeah, and then I was like, I can't sit here for 1 minute and then leave. That's also super awkward. So I just sat there. I was like, ah,
Mm-mm.
now this guy's gonna talk to me. Anyway.
All right. All right. Let's wrap it up now that you've
Okay.
had your PTSD. All right. You want to tell them
Yeah.
where to find us?
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram at Lifting Running Living Pod or Gmail at liftingrunnинglivingpod@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube, which is actually my YouTube. It's on coaching class. Although you're now posting the videos too on your YouTube,
Well, I
right?
posted the last one.
Okay.
If you
Well, we
send,
can keep
yeah,
that
if
going.
you send that
Yeah.
to me, I will post it on the Coach JK McLeod YouTube also.
Yeah. So both of our YouTubes, you can find it there. Obviously, Spotify, Apple, all these things. You can leave a rating and review. 5
Cool.
stars only.
All right. And with that, we are closing out episode 53, Lifting, Running, and Living. So thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Take care. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.